Life Unrehearsed, brought to you by Leanna Senior Transition Support, helping you navigate home care and senior residences.
Welcome back to Life Unrehearsed. I'm Matt Del Vecchio, and today is World Cancer Day. We just heard about an award-winning app called Belong, Beating Cancer Together. And there are a bunch of initiatives taking place right here in Montreal. And one of the institutions leading the way, not just here in Montreal, but in the world, is the McGill University Health Centre. And I'm honored to have the president of the MUHC Foundation, Julie Kenville, on the line with us. Julie, welcome back to Life Unrehearsed.
Matt, thank you so much for the invitation.
Well, thank you for joining me, Julie. I remember when we first met, 4 or 5 years ago, I guess, in your office. And boy, have things changed since we met through a pandemic. But you've taken the MUHC Foundation, Julie, to new heights. I remember when I walked out of that meeting saying to myself, boy, she's going to make things happen. And you absolutely have. So, Julie, for our listeners, can you give us a background on what is the MUHC Foundation?
The MUHC Foundation exists for the sole purpose of supporting innovation, helping the hospital recruit the very best talent in the entire world, and of course, supporting research. And what most of your listeners probably don't know is that you actually can't really launch any research in this country without having the support of the community, without having the support of philanthropy. Because our researchers, they have to actually prove that the research works before they can even apply for a grant. So that's our reason for existing, is really to match the community that wants to have impact, that wants to see medicine improved across the country and really for the world. And of course, the brilliant minds that walk through the hallways of the MUHC every day.
Must be special to see. I'm glad you brought up the importance of community and philanthropy, but it doesn't have to necessarily be the big philanthropist. It comes down to every person. And, I'm on the board of directors of Nova West Island, as you probably know, Julie, and I understand some of the challenges of foundations like yours, because in terms of donations, you're pretty well starting at $0 on January 1st every year, and you've got to work like hell to raise as much money as you can. And I don't know if listeners can appreciate this. Can you give us an idea of the amount of fundraising dollars required each year by the MUHC Foundation?
So we raise and disperse about $27 million each and every year to the MUHC, but the needs are so much higher than what we are currently able to disperse. But you're absolutely right, Matt. Philanthropy is absolutely everyone's business. It is not just for the wealthy in this country. Think about it. There are 700,000 patient visits each and every year at the MUHC. If each and every patient gave back and gave even $25, $50 each year, think about what we could accomplish as a community.
Absolutely. Listening to Life Unrehearsed, Matt Del Vecchio, and we're talking to Julie Kenville, president of the MUHC Foundation. Now, Julie, you still have every year to raise this money, but today is World Cancer Day, and I want to get your thoughts and opinions and share with our listeners how the MUHC is contributing against the fight against cancer.
We're one of the leading cancer centers in the country. Really, we're number 2 after Toronto, and we're quite proud about that because the McGill name still carries a whole lot of weight, and we are able to recruit some of the best talent from around the world, but they can't do this alone. And so we play an important role in discovering cures and discovering new medications and better diagnostics. I can give you many examples, Matt, of innovations, discoveries that have happened right here in our backyard.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about it. So share a couple with us that our listeners would be interested in here.
Well, my favorite by far is one that's going to save millions of women around the world. Ovarian cancer is still one of the greatest killers of women because right now with the technology that we have today, we're only diagnosing ovarian cancer when they're in stage 3 or 4 because there's no symptoms. And so by the time you start to have symptoms and you go see your doctor and you say, I think there's something wrong, it's often too late, and the survivorship is about 30%. So that means that 70% of women will die of this cancer, and quite rapidly for many. Some of them only get 30-day notice before they are unfortunately gone. Now, Dr. Lucy Gilbert, who is one of the most exceptional people I have ever met in my life, and I'm so inspired to have an opportunity to work with her. She and her team have created the Dovey Project, and they have created the only diagnostic test in the entire world for early detection of ovarian cancer. And we're about 6 months away from being able to move into a commercialization process with a homemade discovery right here in Montreal, and it'll benefit every doctor's office in the entire world.
Dr. Lucy Gilbert is an amazing person, individual, and I've had her on the show. Many thanks to you, Julie, and she's going to be back on Life Unrehearsed on March 5th, as a matter of fact, talking about this incredible W project and making such headway. And that's just one little example, right, Julie, of what many in your medical community are doing at the MUHC. Julie, I have to switch gears a little bit here on you, and little known facts about Julie Kenville. We're both golfers.
And you're probably much better than I am.
You have a prominent role in the upcoming President's Cup next year, where the world of golf will be heading to the Royal Montreal Golf Club, which is going to be the host of the 2024 President's Cup. Can you tell us a little bit of your role in this?
Yes, Matt, I sit on the executive committee for the President's Cup, and we are so proud that it's coming to Canada in 2024. This was an important bid. It took quite a few years for us to put this together and bring the President's Cup back to Montreal, but it's now an absolutely immense event with 1 billion viewers worldwide, so it's a great window for Montreal tourism. And it's expected to bring about $77 million in economic impact to our city. And so Royal Montreal, where I'm a member, is quite excited about hosting this global event.
Well, good on you. It's a lot of work, and you should be very, very proud. Could you imagine 1 billion viewers of this event? And that's going to be at the Royal Montreal Golf Club next September 2024. All right, bring it back to the foundation. I want to allow you to give a little shout out. You have started a pioneer of the incredible show that you've got here on CJAD every Sunday at 12 o'clock. Health Matters. Tell us a little bit about the show.
I love Health Matters. I had kicked it off, and Tara Schwartz is doing an absolutely brilliant job with this show. And the idea is to bring medicine to the community. And it's we're all affected by our health care. We want it to do better. We want it to improve. And so the show is a wonderful way for our listeners to hear about prevention and hear about better diagnostics. And of course, we hope that they're as proud as we are that we have these extraordinary, brilliant minds in Montreal at the MUHC.
Absolutely. Listening to Life Unrehearsed, Matt Del Vecchio, and that's Julie Kenville, the president of the MUHC Foundation. We're wrapping it up here, Julie. Again, $27 million. Who would have thought of that in terms of your budget? And it has to grow every year. So let's get the word out, and I believe you've even created a special URL for this World Cancer Day. So how can people donate to the MUHC Foundation, Julie?
Please visit muhcfoundation.com, Stop Cancer. This is one of the most emotional and important days of the year. It's the World Cancer Day, and we hope that each and every one of you is going to consider making a small gift and helping us to join the movement and help us try to find these cures.
Absolutely, Julie. And like you said, even a small gift, every dollar counts. Keep up the great work, Julie. You have an incredible team working with you, and I could only wish you much success at the MUHC Foundation.
Matt, thank you so much for your continued support.
All right. That's Julie Kenville, president of the MUHC Foundation. Again, I'll give that URL address if you want to donate. It's at the muhcfoundation.com/stopcancer. And every dollar counts. Coming up on Life Unrehearsed, we'll continue our fight against cancer on World Cancer Day. Next up is a surgical oncologist and the director of the MUHC's Breast Cancer Clinic, who will be talking to us about breast cancer, some of the latest treatments, and some encouraging new research. That's going to be coming up after the CTV News Update.